What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's a Monday, which of course means we're going to be taking a look at the world rankings to see what has shifted up over those games on the weekend. Not just the Rugby Championship this week. There was a lot of other games going on in the world of rugby. People getting involved with the qualifiers for the 2027 World Cup as well across the board. So I've been seeing a couple of results about that. We'll go over our predictions from the weekend of a Rugby Championship, which I think was very divisive in quite a lot of the games. So looking forward to see there's going to be some big shifts potentially. And then a fantasy league results. How did we all get on? I feel like I did okay. A lot of decisions not really going my way of how I anticipated both of those games to go. But let's jump in then with the world rankings to start us out there. New Zealand getting that win over South Africa, 7 points, and it means they gain a 0.63 and secure that number one spot. Of course, it was number one versus number two going into that game. They'll have the rematch this week. South Africa dropped back down to third after losing that 0.63. They've already announced their team for next week, which is a big call, early on. They like all the little mind games and things in the world of rugby. I'm all here for it. But a Monday pick from a 7-point loss is a big move, and there's been a few changes to that team as well. Moving down the board then, Australia gain a 0.55, taking that win against Argentina, which, tell you what, in the first 20 minutes of that game, did not see that coming. I thought Argentina were just going to start stomping that one. Argentina still holding out in 7th, so no switches around there. Fiji gain a 0.36 after they got a win over Samoa. Japan got a win over the USA, which saw them gain a 1.11. Uruguay dropped down 1.85 after losing to Chile. And I think that was one of the games that there was a qualifier for. But I feel like I saw something that Uruguay are actually the ones that have qualified. So I'm not sure how that they lost, but still won. I haven't kept up to date with all of how that all works, but I know that was one of the games going on. Let's have a bit of a scroll down then. So that's it from the rest of the world. I've just quickly gone and looked that up because I can't quite understand how that works. So Uruguay have qualified now for the 2027 World Cup, even though they lost the game. Over the two-leg aggregate score, overall they won, which means that although they lost that game and Chile get all those points, Uruguay actually are the ones that are qualified. I can't find anything about Tonga. I'm sure I saw World Rugby also put out that Tonga have now qualified to get in, but I can't seem to find that on the news. I'm sure I saw that on a Facebook post by World Rugby as well. But those pools beginning to stack up now. I believe Chile is still in with a chance to get into the World Cup. I think they go on to play like another one of the losing teams, so there could be a chance that they go on to play the USA. I think I've got to try and find a little bit more about that. Some of the the sort of tier 2 stuff is a little bit outside of my just general knowledge range, but not a lot of swapping round in the top 10 as such. More just the points going the way of the team that was already further up. The only dropping down there is South Africa behind Ireland, but that's because they lost and Ireland didn't play this week. On to the predictors then. How did we all get on? I managed to get the 2 from 2 this week, although like I said, that opening 20 against Argentina, I thought I've made a terrible decision going for Australia. I expected this game to be really open. I thought both teams, the backs would be running like crazy, but yeah, it didn't go that way at all. Argentina utilised their backs. Australia did this thing where they forgot a key element in rugby, which is called wingers. They forgot that you can actually pass the ball to them, and they're not just there to be used on trying to return your contested aerial battle catches, which is what Corey Toole did, who was my captain in the fantasy hoop. I don't even know if he really touched the ball in that game, but yeah, that was really causing them a lot of issues, really not utilising the backs. Then you see Suali and Len Ikitau get the ball, and you go, you see how these boys are doing well if you go wider and going more. I don't know. Very, very weird. But Argentina losing that one right at the death with an Australia win by 4 points. I said Australia by 12, a little bit further out by me there than the actual results. Let's have a scroll down, see how people got on. A lot of people taking the 0.5 from this one. Only one person, Tuin Dwergi, whose name I'm still going to butcher horrendously. I still need to go back and read the comments to see if you put in how the best way for me to pronounce that was. Comes in the only person to pick Australia by 4. That is a great pick. It meant so many people going for the 3 and 5. Well done to you. Take the full points for yourself. A few people going for Argentina, though. These are the games now where I feel like it's going to get a little bit more 50-50 rather than like an outright favourite. This one was sort of very 50-50 going into it. So a lot of people going for Argentina as well, taking no points from this one. New Zealand versus South Africa then. I managed to do okay in this one. I said New Zealand by 5. I just thought New Zealand would edge this one out. Eden Parks, the the defensive fortress for New Zealand. They always find that little step up. South Africa really not. I don't know. I feel like South Africa could have taken that game. Actually, there was just some weird decisions, a few mistakes coming in by them. Just things not going quite their way, even to what I was expecting. I picked New Zealand to win, but I thought New Zealand would win by sort of edging the game out. But it was almost South Africa really didn't quite get up to the level that I was expecting them to, and New Zealand did exactly what they needed to do to take that game. Took it in by the 7. I said New Zealand by 5, so I got my little half bonus point. Did anyone get it bang on? 3 people got it bang on. Mark Dunphy, Connor does rugby, and Highland Cow. All 3 of you guys are going to split that full point between the 3 of you. 0.33 for everyone else. A lot of people getting the 0.5. I always thought it was going to be a narrow game. Interestingly, a few people actually went into the bigger end double figures. I thought it would remain single figure win either way. Wow, Kev threw the big call out there going for the draw. Not often people go for the draw, and if it ever does pay off, it is just all the points for you. That was a big call by you. South Africa as well. Yeah, again, similar to the other game, I expected a lot of people to also go to South Africa for this one. I expected this one to be quite 50-50. So unfortunately, no points going your guys' way if you went for South Africa. In terms of the round then, it's those 3 boys we just spoke about there. Connor does rugby, Mark Dunphy and Highland Cow getting the 2 from 2, and that bonus point split means you all end on 3.33 and all with a TDM of 3. Brandon and Ian also ended on a TDM of 3, but just not getting that bonus point sees you end on the 3 points. As well as a lot of people. Actually, this will be our top 10, right? Ian Bowie, Sean has the David Wakefield, Ian, Thar 11, and Christopher 113. All of you boys getting on the 3 points there. A lot of people having the 2.5, including myself in there. Only 2 2s. The Temp Shoulders and Thomas getting the 2s. So 1.5 is going down the board, and yeah, there will have been some people on this who got 0. They were sort of those 50-50 games. If you get both of them wrong, devastating for your points board. Now the leaderboard could be shaken up here. Let's see how we get on. So 200 still holds out in the number 1 spot on 7 points. David Wakefield, who was our champion from last year, I think he was the Purple Crown, if I remember rightly. I don't think it shows you on the leaderboard anymore. It should show you. I'm sure David Wakefield is the champion from last year in this, but up into that second place on the 6.5, only half a point down on that first place. Mark Dunphy coming in there, up 4 places with the gold cap, split 3 ways this week on the 6.33. Christopher up 2 into 4th on 6, joint with Ian, who climbed 4 into 5th. Villa Farrell dropping down 1, but still staying in the top 10. Highland Cow climbs 20 places, fighting back hard to get into that top 10 on 5.83 along with Villa Farrell. Bowie climbs 13 up into 8th place on 5.5. Joint with Brandon, who climbed 19 to get to 9th. Ian climbed 19 to get into 10th. And an honourable mention there to Matt Ralph, also climbing 4 places, getting to 11th, but still on that 5.5. Some big jumpers, actually, going around here. So Lewis Young up 8. Exequias down 10. Sean Towers getting up there 21. Finn the Russell up 8. Gaz Limonati goes up 14. Connor does rugby, another YouTuber, climbs 32. Leapfrogs me. Connor, how could you do this to me? Good picks by you today, mate. Sees you go up to that 4.83. I'm just behind Connor. I climbed 20 places. Wow, was I doing that bad? Maybe I was. I climbed 20 places up into 18th. Maybe I can get to top 10. What is top 10 at the minute? 5.5. I'm a point down. There's 3 rounds left. Maybe, just maybe I could do that. Some of you are dropping down. That 11 up 26. Metalomaniac up 21. Thomas up 15 as well. A few people climbing a few places. Kian down 31. Enormous drop for Kian. I actually don't know if Kian got his picks in this week or maybe not. Or maybe just, going that wrong way on the 50-50 calls. Some big fallers though, man. If you get these games wrong, it is punishing in the Rugby Championship with there only being 2 games. There's no safety net. As soon as you get them wrong, it crashes and burns you. Absolutely brutal. Well done to our 3 winners of the round. Not often we get to say that, but Tuinjwerji, whose name I'm always going to struggle with, still holding out that number 1 spot on 7 points. On to the fantasy then. How did we all go? It was a rough week. It was a weirdly low-scoring week. Which is always odd. I'll put the team of the week up on screen for you. I have got someone I want to flag with this. I'll flag it. I don't know if Super Bru ever watch these videos, but I want to flag someone here with this. I do like the Super Bru thing. They haven't put it on Twitter for me. It's only on the app that I can get it through. We'll have a run through the team and go over some of our picks and what have you. So starting out in the prop department, then Angus Bell. who I nearly put on, and I don't know why I didn't. I sort of ummed and ahed about it. I was like, oh, Taliela Tupou I've got on for me. Maybe, no. I mean, Taliela Tupou just wanted to get off the field as soon as possible. Coming on is 15.5 for Angus Bell. Oxenshea, who I did have, came in on 8. Best hooker of the round, Malcolm Marks. On 12, who, again, another one I considered. I didn't have the subs, though, for him, I don't think. I think I kept Taukei'aho on, who I thought had a good game, but he didn't score particularly well for me. Your lock department. Now, on the graphic here, they've got Scott Barrett and Tom Hooper. Now, that was a 11.5 and 7 points to those. However, I'm going to flag this one because you can't put Tom Hooper at lock. He was the best lock in the actual world, and he scored the best, and he was the best lock of the round. But on the app, you can't put him at lock. He's a back row. So this is technically wrong. So there's probably a better lock in there, and so. But I can't access all the games. There's a few issues with the app at the minute. I've noticed. I might reach out to them and sort of let them know. Maybe it's just because I'm on an Android phone. Maybe if you're on like iPhone or so, maybe it's okay. On Android, I'm having a lot of issues with the app recently. The ads can't be removed. It's just in the way of the screen. The teams don't show the fantasy scores anymore, so I can't like go through and work it out for you. So I don't know who was the best lock after that. So Tom Hooper shouldn't have been there. Your back rowers, they've got Ardy Sarvea, Harry Wilson and Rob Valentini, but Tom Hooper should have been in there over Ardy Sarvea, so it would have been an all-Australian lockout in that back row. Your best scrum half of the round, Cobus Reinach, coming in from South Africa, only 8. Interestingly, so some relatively lower scores for the scrum halves this week. Best fly half, this came back to bite me. Santiago Carreras, who I put in my preliminary team, and then thought, because Tom Liner coming back from his injury, I was like, oh, you know what? I actually feel like they might give him a lot of attempts at kicking just to try and get his confidence into the kicking. And he didn't do well at all. I took out Santiago Carreras for Tom Liner. That was my worst pick of the round by far. Shouldn't have done that one. Centre partnership then, an all-Australian centre partnership. Lenny Kitau on 14.5 and Joseph Suoli, who ended on 18.5, 37 if you made him captain. I think that would have been a big call to have made him captain. I don't see anyone actually necessarily making him captain on the sheet there. Someone got 33 in the centre department. And then your back three, okay for the back three this week. Malia on 14.5, Will Jordan on 14.5, and Del Gee on 12.5. So, I mean, a lot of players in the 10, not really many people pushing up to the 20 marker. So a hard scorer game, and you really needed to get them right this week. Failing to get those players was like, rather than getting 12 points, you got 2. It was really extreme. So yeah, you can really struggle if you don't get it, absolutely bang on. So let's have a look at how we all got on. Matt 15 coming in at first place on 162.5. That's a good score for this round. The community average was something like, I don't remember what it said it was, like 110? I can't remember what it said now. It was very, very low. Second place then goes to Highland Cow, not only doing well in the predictor, but also the fantasy. Great pick by you, Highland Cow, getting in there on the 160.5. Wombat 999 on 159 for third place. Forest on 151 for fourth. Xander comes in fifth place on 150.5. Keith in 6th place on 146. Johnny in 7th place on 143.5. Metalomaniac coming in there in 8th place on 140. Arvan Score comes in on a 139.5. And then sealing out our joint top 10 at the end there. Foot Easy and PR Azevedo on 138.5. Dave 61 just missing out there on the half point from getting into that top 10. We'll have a bit of a scroll down. Don't know where I get. Oh, I was next. I was on 137. It's okay. 12th, you know what, I'll kind of take it for this round. Yeah, it did really not go my way. Let me have a scroll down. You can see how many people that got into like the 110s and the 120s. It was very common. Very, very hard. Your captain picks not going particularly right for you. I can't remember, what quite my team was. Yeah, as you can see, a few things not going my way. Garcia got 4 at scrum half, but, not really great to take away. I did have Ikitau in it, one of my centres. Corey Toole as a captain. Oh, boy. Time to make that decision change next week because they didn't even want to give him the ball. Talio Tuba somehow ended on 6.5 even after giving like a million penalties away. Just overall, my forwards not doing the best for me. Matt's, though, team of the round for us. I went for Harry Wilson as captain. Not a bad pick at all. Harry Wilson, always a good step up there. Also got Mateo Carreras on 11, Will Jordan. Suoli, yeah, that centre pick's good. Carreras. I am kicking myself about dropping Carreras. I don't even know what my decision was. I think it was because I thought Australia would win. It's worth backing the kicker who you think's going to... that was just a silly decision. But I've overthought that one rather than going with the gut feeling, and those ones do come back to me. Santiago Carreras cost me a lot of points. That's like a 20-point swap if I pick Carreras in there. So the leaderboard then, again, I'm expecting some swaps around here then, because it was a weird round, and you can lose a lot of points when there's low score around. So Arvan Score still stays in that number one's place on a 452, which is a very, very good score after 3 rounds. Pierre Azevedo climbs 1 up into second place, narrowing that gap up on 447. And then both of these two have some daylight, really, from third place from Highland Cow. What a round! Round 3 has been for Highland Cow. Climbs 19 places up into third on 428, joint with Grobler, who's dropped down 2, but still there on the 428. Wombat climbs 15 places on the 427. Up into 5th place. I have somehow fought back after some less than perfect rounds with all of my yellow cards. Up into 6th place on 426.5, joint with Brandon, who's dropped down 3 places. So actually, man, there is a 1.5 between 3rd and 7th. That is close as we get into round 4. These two guys are away. I need a good round. I need a Santiago Carreras pick for me in there somewhere. Johnny climbs 4 up into 8th on 421.5. Keith holds out the 9th place on 418.5 and sealing out our top 10. Then dropping down 3 but still in the top 10. Warlord coming in there on 417.5. Sorry, let's have a look for the big swaps then. Xander climbs 13. Ian, we're not a good round for Ian, dropped down 11. David Wakefield climbs up his 3. Up into 17th. Matt, the gold cap, holds 20th. Wow, that's mad. Came top of the round and, pretty well. It was a good 30, 40 points ahead of a lot of people and still just holding that. But, closing that gap in on some of those places, that's, a good jump to be able to hold there. At least you can move up. Undercard dropping down 14. Not a good round for you, Undercard, unfortunately. Rugby Loyalty. The bus driver. I don't even know how you get these like nicknames. I don't know what changes that in the app, but apparently the bus driver's coming in with some picks here as well. Anyone else got some really big joy? Fred, unfortunately, dropping down the 12. David dropping down 14. Foster King down 17. Man, it's really hard. Sometimes when you have those low scoring rounds, that's where the bigger jumps are than sometimes where you have the person getting 3 tries and someone made him captain. It only normally affects one person. When it's a low scoring round for a lot of people, you can, really have those big switch-ups. So well done to Matt on taking this round. And Arvan Score still holding out. He's got 5 points of daylights from Pierre Azevedo, looking to close that gap. And then the rest of us are going to be fighting out for 3rd at this place. Maybe I can catch up to Highland Cow, but looks like he's on absolute fire at the minute. Won't be stopping him any time soon. I hope you all enjoyed this one today, guys. Always fun to have a little recap. Yeah, like I said, Southern have already got the team out for this week. I'll be doing a bit more of the Road 25 things. Hopefully the games are better. Man, it's a hard game to get involved with that. We'll get involved doing a little bit more fantasy stuff next week. Of course, make sure you hit the old subscribe button to keep up to date with these videos as they come out. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.